You know, policies have consequences, and the quality of life in America's big cities is so bad that it is surpassing the ability of partisanship to submit or to hide the truth. Because Democrats are fed up with these policies. Look no further than Los Angeles. It's plagued by crime, filth, and rampant homelessness. And that's according to its former mayor, Antonio Villaraigosa, blaming his successor, saying, "I have never seen this town so dirty. I have never seen crime up so quickly. The spread of homelessness, I think to many, Rome is burning." New York is burning too. But the city council here has other priorities, like removing a statue of Thomas Jefferson and declaring racism a public health crisis. Joining me now to break down this lunacy, these policies, is Brit Hume, Fox News, to hide the truth. Because policies have consequences, and the quality of life in America's big cities is so bad that it is surpassing the ability of partisanship to submit or to hide the truth. Because Democrats are fed up with these policies. Look no further than Los Angeles. It's plagued by crime, filth, and rampant homelessness. And that's according to its former mayor, Antonio Villaraigosa, blaming his successor, saying, "I have never seen this town so dirty. I have never seen crime up so quickly. The spread of homelessness, I think to many, Rome is burning." New York.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Rekakwadash. Double honors and blessings to the apostles and elders of Ray Millstone. This is Brother Arya El Yahawada from GMS Hawaii. Lord willing, this video is edifying. I was watching this on Fox News, this video, and I paused it right where he said Rome is burning. Okay? I caught that phrase, Rome is burning. How many times have the apostles and elders of GMS referred to America, Babylon the Great, as ancient Rome? Okay? So I just found that very interesting that he would say that, you know. So even these, I don't know if this reporter is a Jake. He could be an Edomite. I don't know his background or his history, but nonetheless, even the reporters and this Fox News here, they kind of have a reputation for telling lies, but in this case, they are right on the money. He said Rome is burning. So see, people are starting to notice and see how America is just one big dump spot, you know. So I'm gonna start playing it again, and because I want to hear that statement he made. Rome is burning. Rome is burning. And then I got a couple of precepts, and that's going to be pretty much it. Lord willing, I hope I don't get a strike for showing this video, but it is what it is.
Is burning too. Villaraigosa, blaming his successor, saying, "I have never seen this town so dirty. I have never seen crime up so quickly. The spread of homelessness, I think to many, Rome is burning."
Rome is burning.
New York is burning too.
New York is burning too.
The city council here has other priorities, like removing a statue of Thomas Jefferson and declaring racism a public health crisis. Joining me now to break down this lunacy, these policies, is Brit Hume, Fox News senior political analyst. Brit, I guess we can rest easy that the New York politicians have their priorities in the right place. Murder up, Jefferson statues down.
That's the idea. This civil rights movement was a great movement at one time. It was about tearing down barriers, and now, to much of the time, it is about tearing down statues. Doing that, tearing down a statue or moving it out of sight or whatever they want to do, is not going to change the life of one kid in Harlem or New York or anywhere else. These are empty gestures designed to fan the flames of racial disagreement in this country. And it's all about, when you get down to it, Will, you were so right throughout most of this broadcast, it is about the collapse of individual responsibility, which was something that has been integral to America's growth and prosperity. And now we see people in a...
I'm going to pause it right there to do a little comment. Democrats let crime run rampant in cities, but make time to take down racist statues. See, America is going down. Just like the prophecies say, America is slowly but surely going down. You know, it's like that comedian George Carlin said, the statement he made that Apostle Gabar is always making reference to. America, aka Babylon the Great, is like when you flush the toilet, it's slowly swirling around, but slowly but surely going down the drain. Slowly but surely. See? And pretty soon, as 2nd Ezra chapter 15, I believe it's verse 5, or I know it's in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, pretty soon there's going to be sedition among men and against their kings and their princes, which represents the politicians, these Democrats. You see? Because people are taking notice that these, see, it says Democrats let crime run rampant in cities. Who are the Democrats? These lying politicians. They're just a bunch of snakes. They're liars, liars, liars. They get in these offices and they make promises they can't keep. You know? So, again, prophecy coming true.
Situation where the criminals are not really to blame, it's the police force. And, crimes go unpunished, unarrested. You have, people walking out of Walgreens stores in San Francisco with tons of material and selling it on the street and all that, unpunished. Personal responsibility is not the order of the day.
Britt, as I was listening to you, I started thinking about this, and I think I want to talk about this later this week on Fox News Primetime. But these rolling state of emergencies, I don't know how many states now are living under a state of emergency, most because of COVID. But to see the New York politicians declare racism a public health crisis, it's not just a reflection of their priorities, but increasingly it will be a power center.
Salakia. And see, you notice, what I take away from this, you notice they're not speaking anything about the serpent juice, about the jab. They're not speaking anything about wearing these things over your face. They're speaking about the basic common needs of the people. To be safe, to be treated righteously. The scriptures say when the wicked are in rule, the people mourn. You see? And it's all just coming to fruition. It's all just coming to fruition. Things that have been in the dark for years, Yahweh Shemi Shai is putting the spirit on these people to see that this white man, this devil, Sleazy Edom, he's just wicked. He lies to get in his positions, and then once he get in those positions of power, he just continues to lie.
Source for them. If it's an emergency, then all measures are worthwhile.
That's right, and the truth of the matter is that what these politicians are doing, they're exploiting really the decency of the American people, which responded to
did you hear that?
Situation in this country.
Power center source for them. If it's an
He says these politics are exploiting the decency of the American people, and that exploiting is what's going to bring about the sedition among men that's spoken of in 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Where they're not going to regard their kings and their princes, these politicians and these police officers. You see? All this is going to lead to that sedition among men that's spoken of in 2nd Ezra chapter 15. So I scrolled it back so I can kind of hear what he said again about these politicians using the decency of the people.
Politicians declare racism a public health crisis. It's not just a reflection of their priorities, but increasingly it will be a power center source for them. If it's an emergency, then all measures are worthwhile.
That's right, and the truth of the matter is that what these politicians are doing, they're exploiting really the decency of the American people, which responded to the situation in this country where racism was much too prevalent and persisted long after the slaves were freed. And America as a nation stood up, took notice of that, and made major changes, which have opened doors of opportunity throughout the land, throughout society, really. And it touched the conscience of a nation. Americans don't believe racism a terrible thing, and being called a racist is one of the worst things that can happen. But it has become a source of power for unscrupulous politicians who've exploited it ever since and continue to. And by keeping the issue alive, they keep a source of power for themselves alive.
And they keep the decline of American cities in a perpetual state of tragedy, murder, crime, homelessness, all on the rise while they battle this Don Quixote windmill of accumulating more power for themselves. Brent, I think it's the first time we've talked. I hope it's not the last. Thank you for being on
I
time.
hope so too, Will. Nice to see you.
You too.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Okay, that was interesting. Now I'm gonna get some precepts. Slovakia real quick while I navigate my phone. So yeah, America is slowly but surely going down. Going down the drain. Okay, Matthew 12 verse 25 is the first one. First precepts, and then I'm gonna just close it out because I'm still at work. Matthew 12 verse 25, which reads, And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Are these cities not divided against themselves? Are all these mayors and governors not divided against themselves? Yes, they are. Judging by that news broadcast, these cities are going down slowly but surely. He said homelessness and crime, everything is on the rise, and these politicians are just collecting their paycheck. So this is Yahushua speaking. It says, And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And that's why America, aka Babylon the Great, is not going to stand, because she's divided against herself. And the second one is going to be Mark chapter 3, verse 24 and 25, and I'm going to close it out on this. Mark chapter 3, 24 and 25. Okay? And says, Salakia, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Verse 26, and if Satan, and we know who Satan is, rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but has an end. Thus saith the Lord. That's why this place is going down. Okay? Because she's divided against herself. The great harlot, the great whore is divided against herself. And I always found it funny. They call these the United States of America. And none of them are united. You know, none of them are united. And now it's all coming to fruition. So Lord willing, this video is edifying. On to the next one. Shalom, Lord willing.